Hello, new 6RW. I'm Mrs. Robinson Wright, but you can all call me Mrs. RW because everybody does. And I'm going to be your new teacher. I've actually already taught you guys when you were in year 3 for a week, so some of you might remember me. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys again and getting to know you more. So this is like a little welcome video. To tell you a little bit about me and your class and what things will be like in year 6 for you from September. So I've been at Cheswood as a teacher, full-time teacher for this will be my second year in year 6 as well. Before that I taught in year 4 at Thomas à Becket. And before that, I did my teacher training, and I did some time in a year 5 class at a little school called Bramber. And before that, I was here at Cheswood as a teaching assistant and librarian. And so I've been kind of around Cheswood for quite a few years, and both my daughters have come here. So my oldest daughter Ruby is going into year 10 in Bowhunt in September, and my youngest daughter Tilly is in year 6 right now, but she'll be leaving in a couple of weeks, and she's going to Davison's. Obviously I've got my 2 daughters at home and my husband and a lovely dog called Herbie, who's really soppy and silly and likes to dig holes in the garden and go through our bin, and quite often can be found with the top of the bin lid around his neck. Looks like an astronaut. So that's something about me. September, obviously you'll be coming back to school. We'll all be in one classroom. I don't know too much about how things are going to be after the summer holidays, but I'm hoping we'll be a little bit more kind of back to normal. So we'll all be in one classroom together, and our focus will be on routines, getting you used to being back at school and normal school routines, any targets that you'll have for reading or writing or maths, all those kind of usual things, getting used to the behaviour again and what our expectations are at school, which you're already doing all the time and being brilliant, I know. And just thinking about bright sparks, being the best that you can be, always kind of trying your best will help you with all of those things. So by now you've been in Cheswood, for most of you, for 3 years already, so you kind of know how it works, and it will be just the same in year 6. We'll be doing lots of PSHE for the first half term and meditation. We should be doing some meditation every day because obviously we've all gone through a lot of change in the last few months, and I'm sure some of you are probably quite nervous about coming into year 6, especially if you've been at home for a long time. So we're going to kind of get you used to being back at school and looking after your kind of worries and making sure that you feel reassured and feel kind of looked after. So any of you that are worrying about any gaps in your learning because you haven't been at school for a while, please don't worry. That's our job as your teachers, to plug any gaps. So you just need to come to school with a positive attitude and think that you're going to do your best, and we'll work it all out together from there. So it's not for you to worry about. That's our job, to make sure we can kind of help you with all of that. I'm just looking at a little list next to the camera so that I can make sure I remember everything, because obviously you sent me some lovely questions, some of you. So just looking at some of the questions you sent me, no, we don't do swimming or bikeability in year 6. Yes, you will be playing outside in your break times and lunch times as usual, so that won't change. My favourite colour is blue. Thank you for asking. And we will, this is brilliant news, by the way, we will still be doing the Bristol residential trip. But what we'll be doing instead is having it in the last week of the school year. So it will be in the summer, in July 2021. I think a letter went out about that yesterday, so you probably already know that. But that's going to be brilliant. Bristol is so much fun, and even if you don't come to Bristol, the guys who stay behind have loads of fun as well. This year, the children who stayed behind went to the cinema and made a silent movie in school and had an awesome time. So that's all great news. I know some of you are, bless you, worrying about SATs already. Don't worry about that. It's going to be fine. We don't know, obviously, what will and won't happen because that's up to the government to decide. But if it does all still go ahead, again, we will get you ready for it. It won't be frightening. You'll have some practice tests to do so you get used to it. But really, the focus for Year 6 is not all about SATs. It's more about getting you ready for high school. It's your last year in junior school, and you will have learnt so much already you don't even realise what you've learnt in years 3, 4 and 5. And so we'll be kind of continuing our learning journey and getting you ready for high school, helping you to be more independent, helping you to kind of really refine any skills that you've learnt through years 3, 4 and 5, and learning loads of great new stuff as well. We've got some really fab topics. We do the ancient Egyptians, we look at mummification, we've got Beowulf, which is quite exciting and gruesome. What else do we do? World War II topic, which is really interesting. And we read lots of amazing books in Year 6. I'll get back to that in a minute. We'll have Miss Cooper will be our teaching assistant for Year 6. We kind of share her between the whole year group. So she'll be taking some of you out for some kind of group work every now and again. We might have somebody else, but that hasn't been finalised yet, so I'm not sure about that. And I think that's most of your questions. There were a few others, but I don't want to be talking to you for too long. What I do want to do, though, is show you around your new classroom. So we're upstairs in the new building. Well, it's not new to most of you, but basically I think you're downstairs and one classroom along. So our classroom is at the top of the stairs, which is quite near to your current classroom in Year 5. We're right at the top. And let me just switch this around if I can. That's not what I wanted to do. And I don't know how to turn this around. Okay, so here is our classroom. And you'll see that I like things to be nice and bright and cheerful. So behind me there is the Millionaires wall for the readers. And in that corner there is my book nook and reading recommendations, because I love reading. And I love children's books, so I'll have loads of lovely books to recommend to you. We have a map, because the world is a fascinating place full of lots of interesting countries and cultures, so we like to try and celebrate that. And here's my recommendations wall with all the lovely books that I've read and recommended. And do you know what? There are even more that I haven't updated yet. But my absolute favourite book, and I believe that Mrs. Peace and Mrs. Borner have already recommended it, is Pax. That's my favourite children's book in the whole world. It's absolutely beautiful. But come to me at any point for any book recommendations. I'm your woman. And then over here we've got the English display, which is a working wall. And that's the dull word graveyard, when we try to think of interesting synonyms. And then the maths wall over there, and that was for Beowulf, that display. But when you come in September, that will be something different. And this is kind of like a celebration wall, which I'm going to update. And that's the door of the classroom. And there we've got that display there, which is about the magic of reading, really. So I think that's all for me to tell you. All I can say is I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys. We're going to have a lovely year 6 together, and it's going to be really, really interesting and lots of fun. So please don't worry about anything. Let's just look forward to having a really good year 6 journey together. Okay, I look forward to seeing you all soon. Okay, bye.